Wrestling.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the We Like Wrestling podcast. I'm Jared here with Justin and John.
Hello,
hey, everybody.
And we have a special guest, Frank. He is our friend of the wrestling universe. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, Rise Up Nutrition. Again, they gave us some drinks to test. This one is orange.
Tropical.
Is it?
Tropical.
Okay.
Tropical sunrise.
No, it's orange.
Oh.
Last week was tropical.
Oh.
If you're ever in our area, which is Reading, PA, Rise Up Nutrition is located on
Reading.
Penn Ave in West Reading. Go ahead and stop in. They have energy teas, protein shakes, protein waffles, which are really good. I tried them for the first time.
And make sure you tell them that We Like Wrestling podcast sent you.
Yes. We are back after another Outbreak show, which was great. We hung out with Earl Hebner and Duke the Dumpster Josie.
Yeah.
Earl Hebner was a great guy, by the way. Very personable. So if you ever have the chance, I definitely recommend meeting him. We have his autograph right up there on the poster.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Welcome, Frank. This is your first time on a podcast.
Yes, it is. Yep.
What should we, like we did with Wes, give him a chance to explain how you get into wrestling?
Yeah, of course. That's where we're getting at.
Oh, man, you can put me on the spot. Okay.
Like to host this show?
What's that?
Go ahead, Frank. So, obviously, we know what this episode is about, but go ahead and tell us your favorite era and what got you into wrestling.
To this day, it's still golden era, and I know people don't always like it, but that's what I grew up on. Like, you're talking 3 years old watching it, but with my grandfather, and it's stuck with me ever since. Like, and that's still what I show my son. That's what I still go back to. Like, watching old clips of stuff I've seen 1,000 times. Like, that's my favorite and always will be.
What was your favorite match?
My favorite what? Sorry, you're cutting out.
Your favorite match from the golden era?
Probably Savage Steamboat WrestleMania 3. I know that everybody says that, but I mean, it just doesn't get better than that for me.
So this episode, we're just going to talk about the golden era, just general conversation. Obviously, I'm the youngest one here, so I have the least amount of knowledge of that.
And I technically was a new gen kid, but I grew up on my dad's tapes, which was golden era.
So we're talking, basically, it's the Hogan era, right? 84 to 93.
Well, they consider it, 82 to 92. Or
Yeah, that's the technical golden era.
So, WrestleMania 9 is like that very in between.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan's out, Brett's in. Like, that's
Yokozuna comes in.
Yeah, that's kind of the bridge. Like, 93 is the bridge from new era to, not new era. Golden era to
new gen, yeah.
Yeah, I would say WrestleMania 9 is the bridge. So, yes,
Yeah.
I would say WrestleMania 9 is the end. Well, if you want to put it the right way, King of the Ring 93 is the end of the real golden era, even though the next year's King of the Ring main evented by Roddy Piper and Jerry Lawler. But that's in the new gen that we're supposed to be focused on the youth. And we're main eventing Jerry Lawler.
15 years passes.
Yeah.
So what's your take on Hogan?
Who's your favorite wrestler from the new gen? Who's
from
that
the new gen?
New gen or golden?
I'm gonna do this all day.
New gen. Well, me personally,
I golden era.
I put new gen kind of mashed in with, like you said, Justin, like that. They kind of mashed it together, and then they started going from you're 6'5" and 280 to you're 5'10" and pushing 200.
Diesel.
Well, Diesel and Yokozuna were probably the two exceptions back in that mid-90s.
Mabel. The greatest WWF champion of New Gen.
New Gen favorite wrestler probably Brett, only because of his technical, and he was still part of that golden era. Golden era. Of course,
Sean was part of the golden era and much better. So bullshit.
golden era was my favorite, or Savage and Piper.
Piper, really wrestling ability, or just for the
Overall, I mean, he's the tops on the mic for me, even better than probably Savage, I think.
Because I don't know, Piper. Besides even WrestleMania 1, I don't like that main event.
No, that was a bad main event. And then WrestleMania 2, we had the boxing match with Timmy.
Yeah, but WrestleMania 7, where was it 7 that he wrestled Brett?
8.
That's like a great.
That was the top one. But then you go outside of WWF, and then you have the dog collar match with Valentine.
Oh hell yeah, Greg Valentine. Yeah,
that was like
bloodbath.
Yeah,
crazy.
I think Piper was better when he came back as a face. I
like
the version better.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he started that with the feud with Rude, right? When he came back as a face, because he hadn't wrestled for a while. When he came back, and I think it was Survivor Series. It was Rowdy's or something like
versus
that.
The Rude Brood. Yep.
Yeah. And that was his first match back since WrestleMania 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, because he had the retirement match, the hair, or not, the hair where he cut.
Yeah.
He took it out at the big cut it. Yeah.
And that was 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he was gone. Yeah. And then he came back.
He was gone for a while. And then.
Well, he came back wrestling at Survivor Series. I think he did some promos before that. Because in there, I think is the Morton Downey Jr. fire extinguisher spot.
WrestleMania 5.
Yeah.
He also came back where he was managing Virgil there, helping Virgil.
That was later though. That's 91, isn't it? Yeah, that's
and the half black. That's after.
Oh,
I forgot about that shit. What? That's Hogan Warrior, so that's 90.
That was a Rumble. Bad News eliminated him, and then they started brawling.
Yeah,
and then
oh god.
Do you guys know the behind the scenes story on that?
That they rigged it by making it
it was like
they couldn't get it off.
It was like people wouldn't rub off it. Also, it got on airplanes.
Go through airport and shit with it. Yeah.
You guys see the wrestling figure of it?
No, they did not make a wrestling.
Yeah, they did.
There's a wrestling figure,
like a legit release or a custom.
Yeah,
no, it's legit.
Yeah,
they only made 500 of Piper half black.
Oh, was it a Jax one? Was it one of those classics?
Classic superstars?
Yeah. Because that was before people started going, yeah, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a good idea then.
Try pulling that now. And then
I get why he did it now, or why he did it then. Because
push the boundaries. That was Piper.
Well, not only that, but he explains it as it wasn't supposed to be black as in I'm a black person.
No.
I am yin and yang. He's showing he's supposed to be the fun Piper, and then the black side is oh, now you've pissed me off. I was trying to have fun here, but now it's yin and yang. It just came off wrong.
Yeah,
if he would have been, I'll tell you what, if he would have been wrestling literally any white person on that card, it wouldn't be even talked about.
No.
I think even Bad News said it was against it. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. But it wasn't supposed to, it's not what it was supposed to be, but it's what it comes off as.
Peacock is just
they eliminated that.
I can't even WWF Network or WWE Network when it first came out. It was okay, you go right to whatever match, whatever event you want. Now it's you got to go. They call it episodes.
I deleted Peacock. I canceled my subscription.
It's bad. I can't even. The worst part is for me. I'm showing my son the golden era stuff and that early '90s stuff. You can't even go to anything now. Now it's
go to YouTube. There's tons of it on YouTube. I'll send you.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Promo. They cut that.
There's
completely.
there's a guy who cuts, and what he'll do is everything TV from August 1st to August 30th. So he'll do August of '89, and he'll show you everything that happens on TV. It's a 3-hour long video. You can watch the whole thing, and then so the only thing he can't do is upload the pay-per-view because it's on Peacock. So that's copyright law. So he's allowed to upload everything else, but then he kind of says, okay, now you can go watch the pay-per-view if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Did he also do something when him and Goldust had their backlap brawl? Did he call Goldust a fag or?
Oh, probably.
They make a reference.
Yeah.
Lawler used to say the F word all the time.
Yeah.
They all used to. It was different times. There was a sign at WrestleMania 1 that said Piper has AIDS. That's not cool.
But I mean, and Chris Canyon is the Dark Side of the Ring this week.
didn't see it.
Oh, that one was tough to watch for me.
Was it?
Yeah,
It was.
That was one of his issues, was it being like a boys' club. He was afraid to come out as gay.
Oh, I'm bad.
Yep.
And like, well, you've been in locker room, Justin, but back then, I mean, that wasn't accepted like it is now.
Yeah.
And then it talks about how, he left the company or he got fired or whatever, and then Orlando Jordan is going to take the character he wanted, and then oh well, no, it's not a big deal now. It's whatever. Okay.
Frank, did you see the Plane Ride from Hell?
The Dark Side of the Ring? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I don't know. I still haven't watched
I haven't seen it either.
I've seen so many.
I've seen every episode of it so far. That's the one wrestling documentary since they started that. Like, I can actually sit down and I know the stories. I know the gist of most of them, but
The one I really got into was the Benoit one.
yeah, the 2-hour one.
Yeah, but that didn't tell you anything you didn't.
No.
You know which one I really liked? Gino Hernandez.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about him.
I don't
and
know
I
a
was
lot about that.
yeah.
I don't want to watch something that I've already seen 1,000 people talk about, like the Montreal Screwjob. Why the fuck are you talking about the Montreal Screwjob?
I saw half of the Pillman one. I didn't see the second half.
But when they started doing
I
these,
know a lot about.
when they started doing these Dark Side of the Ring, it did start off with, here's Benoit and here's
Right.
all this, and now it's like getting into like these underground promotions and
Nick Gage. I mean,
God,
who knew anything about that?
Said the name.
Yeah, the Pillman one was pretty good.
What's wrong with Nick Gage?
He's got fans, okay, and I don't mean any disrespect to him, but I can't stand him.
You don't like deathmatch wrestling?
Or just him as a person?
I don't know. It's a fine line thing. Like I don't know him. I've never met him. I never will meet him. But
I've never met him, but I know people who have met him,
right.
and from what I know, and sometimes people are different around wrestlers, but he after he did his time and reformed, it's legit. Like, he plays that character of being this tough, I don't give a fuck, but he's actually like super nice.
Right, and that's great. And that's
very
great.
humble.
It's just they're saying he's like a king of the deathmatch, and then I look back at the people from the 70s and 80s in Japan and all that. Like, well, what about them? Like, there's people comparing them to him.
That's not even deathmatch anymore, though. What deathmatch is not what Cactus Jack and Terry Funk did.
Right.
It's not like what was the other that 95 tournament I've watched from FMW, like Exploding Ring. It has nothing like that. This stuff is it is fun, but like, there's some guys I really like from deathmatch wrestling. Ricky Shane Page, really good. I like Gage. I like Schlack. Schlack's pretty dope. He was in a metal band that used to do metal songs about wrestling. They were called Eat the Turnbuckle. So he started playing at some of these like underground backyard shows.
Right.
And he was just like, I'll do it. Like, he used to like climb on top of their van, and throw himself through a table. And then it just became, well, why don't you just fucking have a match?
Right.
And he did. And that's how he got into it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what got you into wrestling? I know your favorite is Golden Era, but was there a specific match or specific?
Not a specific match. It was just, I mean, like any kid then or now, like you watch WWE, which that's all there was back then, really, on mainstream TV, where at least where I was. Like, I don't know, it sounds corny, but like the colors, the characters, like back then you had real gimmicks. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't any now, but I mean, larger than life, Hogan, Savage.
There are no larger than lives anymore.
No,
I agree with that.
No.
You won't have a 400-pound fat guy smacking his belly going, it just won't happen. Like, you won't have a hairy motherfucker eating a turnbuckle that paints his tongue blue.
Green.
You just won't. You won't ever have another Shawn Michaels. So
no, I mean, and that's but yeah, that was the appeal, and it's still like, again, like it just doesn't get better than that older what I grew up with. And I'm not against like I'll watch AEW now, but then it's like everybody or mostly everybody does what they call flippy shit. Like,
I agree. It's fun to watch, but there's
nothing original.
I like characters too. I like watching old stuff. I don't know if you really like Golden Era, you should. I don't know if you know about them, but OSW Review is a really good YouTube show, and
I think I might have seen them before. Yeah,
they're like 3 Irish dudes, and they kind of just go through the whole Hogan era, and now they do more. But it started as just we're gonna take it from WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 9. And everything in between, and they even reviewed what's the movie, the Zeus movie,
No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred. Yeah, they reviewed everything, and they just talk about like that era of wrestling. So it's perfect for you. You should check it out.
Yeah.
OSW is fun, and it's so informative. They're funny, and they do so much more stuff too now.
I like AEW too, but we've said just how many times you watch it. If I have to hear Tope Suicida, like every match.
The problem is nobody in AEW is calling it. JR and Tony Schiavone don't know what a Tope Suicida is. A toppy Sabata. What are you talking about?
Every match has the same spot, though. It's the same thing.
There's Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega is the WWE World Champion.
So
Jim Ross said Big Show. I heard on AEW.
He says everything.
He's so out of it now.
Instead of why he called him Big Show.
Jim Ross needs to retire.
I love him. He did a great job.
Probably the greatest of all time.
He talked through, like, he put Austin over. He is the reason Austin. I mean, not the reason, but he is part of. You can't talk about the Austin era without talking about Jim Ross calling the Austin era.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't have been the same without his enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, I can still hear the Stone Cold.
If it was Schiavone and fucking Bobby Heenan, wouldn't have got over.
No, not as much now.
That was the Nitro team, right? Schiavone, Heenan.
And he had Iron Mike Tenay too.
Oh yeah, and Tenay was always good for
like Mongo for a little while.
Yeah.
With Pepe,
Bongo. Remember Austin's promo? Bongo.
Did you watch AEW Wednesday?
A little. I record it, and I just.
So have you not seen Brian and Kenny yet?
Oh, I watched it. It was a pretty good match.
It was very good. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I hated the finish.
But they're not going to have a big finish on TV.
I told them I said it was going to be a fucked finish, and then once I realized that they were doing elevate and then come down, and then elevate and then come down, everything kept going to, oh, this is going to be a finish. No. Now we're going double down. Oh, this is going to be a finish. No, we're doing kicks. Like, oh, they're working to a time limit. That's what they're doing. It's pretty simple to see.
AEW is for wrestling fans. WWE is for,
but they're not even. They're not even good gimmicks though. Besides Corbin, which I was starting to really like, and then they turned it around. Yeah. They're not even geared towards gimmicks anymore. I don't know what it is.
I've tried watching WWE, like flipping on Raw between other things on Monday night or whatever, and it's just like, what is this? I can't watch it.
Let's compare Cena to Hogan, okay?
Oh goodness.
Cena's standing in the ring, and Brock Lesnar comes down. Remember that night that it was Lesnar's big comeback, and nobody saw it coming. Okay, it was cool, but it's nothing like Cena never got that pop. I don't care about Rock. Like, Cena Rock was not Hogan Warrior.
No.
No. Just because they were in a bigger stadium, you just have a wider audience now. That's all. Because you bought the competition. Nobody in the South was watching WWE back then, WWF. Now you have the world watching. So people fly from, okay, whatever. They did not get the pop like we were talking about when, Hogan and Warrior at the Royal Rumble stood face to face, and that realization of, holy shit. That crowd was crazy. Yeah.
To me, like, I don't think, keeping with Hogan, I don't think there's ever as a big a reaction as him being the third man. Like, there's never going to be a moment that breaks that.
Except for fucking it up.
Except for who?
Bobby Heenan, right before when Hogan Heenan says, but whose side is he on? Shut the fuck up. Tell you what, Vince would have never let him say that.
No. My God.
You just said about the Hogan Warrior thing, how everyone lost their shit. But if you think about back then, that's because we never saw that. And then we saw that, and we didn't see it again until Mania. Yeah, it wasn't every week on Raw like we get now.
and also you had just come off of the heels of Mega Powers Explode. So that was a 2-year run. That was Savage wins the belt, Hogan raises his hand, and then that year goes to, well, fuck you. Like, you're trying to take my spot, take my girl.
Right.
And then you go to Mega Powers Explode. And so we saw friendships turn. This is the first time we're going to see these guys aren't really friends.
They're not enemies.
They're not enemies, right? They're just the two biggest names in the company.
Your top two baby faces.
And they're going to collide.
Yeah. That's what made it special. Like, you're watching that Rumble going, you're not even thinking about it till you see them face to face. You're going, holy shit. Like, what am I watching right now?
Yeah.
And then they don't touch each other.
There was only one other spot in, I think, WWE history where that happened, and that was Rock Austin 17, the Royal Rumble before that.
Oh, when Austin, yeah,
you had Rock and Austin in the Rumble together facing off, and people were like, "Oh shit, this is happening. This is what we want to see."
Two biggest stars in the company,
yeah. Even though we'd seen it 2 years prior, this is when we want to see it.
Yeah, but it's that.
And they fucked that finish too.
But then you're talking a 10-year difference or so between Warrior and Hogan and Ryan. Now, every pay-per-view, I mean, I can't say for WWE, but AEW, it's like, who's going to turn on who and who's going to do this? And
I do not. I mean, I like the surprises, but
right, predictable.
Your audience to expect a big surprise. Jim Cornette said it when he went to ECW. Heyman was like, "Oh, you're going to be our surprise. Every show we have a surprise. It's got to be a surprise." He's like, "Well, if every show has a surprise, then it's not a surprise. Like, they're still expecting it."
Right.
So, and I get that this day and age is hard to do that because of the internet. It's extremely tough. But when you condition your fans that even this week, let's take this week for instance. Let's say you got 100,000 new viewers by promoting this as the big, Kenny versus Bryan dream match. Let's round numbers. Let's just say you got 100,000 new viewers that didn't watch AEW before. You've now conditioned those fans, those 100,000, that is your standard weekly Wednesday night wrestling card.
Right.
Well, they ain't producing that next week.
No.
So those guys are the people who tuned in this week because of that match are going to tune in next week and go, who the fuck is this? Who's Orange Cassidy? Why does he have his hands in his pocket?
The main event is Orange Cassidy versus who?
Yeah.
I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
But Brian's not even on this week? No.
Okay. I remember Rusev, but that guy is double the size of that Sammy kid. Why should he should kill him? Why am I caring about this match?
Yeah.
And I want to see it, but I'm talking about those new viewers.
Casual.
Their first AEW show ever was watching this week's Dynamite. That's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to keep
I said that about surprises too. Like, if every pay-per-view you have a surprise, like not every pay-per-view you're going to get a Bryan or a Cole.
Yeah, right.
At some point, you're scraping the barrel and you're just getting, and people are going to go, eh.
Yeah, Big Show, Mark Henry.
Yeah, like eventually you're going to run out of big stars and you have nobody showing up and nobody's going to care.
I mean, you can do stuff inside of they got to start taking people away. Like, why is Jericho still on TV?
Yeah,
he should
There's no real answer for that.
He should be on tour and then come back at the next pay-per-view.
And surprise everybody after.
Yeah, that could be you don't have to hire somebody new. Just have a guy who hasn't been on TV for a while go, "Hey, remember me? Now I'm a heel. Hey, remember me? Now I'm a face."
Like they had those two groups, the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, and now they're like, where are they? Like,
I said that. I said, okay, is Pinnacle still a thing? Because Wardlow's coming out with MJF.
MJS feuding with Pillman Jr. for some reason.
Yeah. So the Inner Circle.
What a step down.
The Inner Circle and
Jericho. Yeah, Jericho to Pillman Jr. Not taking anything away from Pillman Jr., but MJF talked shit about his dead father and his mom, a meth addict. And then Brian Pillman Jr. comes out slapping hands and cheering and let's go energy. No,
wearing that jersey this week.
Yeah, you run down that ramp, you toss off that vest, and you start beating the shit out of the guy. You don't wait for a lockup. You don't lock up with a guy who's talking about your dead father and your meth addicted mother.
The Pinnacle and Inner Circle are still together, but I think the main reason for the factions were that feud.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you're building a faction for a feud, what do you do after it? You're fighting that right now.
Well,
that's why you don't build factions for feuds.
Did the Four Horsemen always wrestle as a group?
But the Four Horsemen weren't built for a feud. Pinnacle was built for Inner Circle.
Yeah, but they're still like, I'll catch them sometimes saying Pinnacle.
And yes, J.J. Dillon came down with every Horseman member. He didn't just come down with Flair. He didn't just come down with
Tully. Or they backed each other up.
Yeah.
They'd come down and help Flair beat up Sting or whatever. They were always together.
You've got a manager. Tully is in there, then Tully should be the manager for everyone, not just FTR, which should change their name to FDM. Fuck Dave Meltzer.
What'd you think
they won't because they love Dave Meltzer.
What'd you think of their NWO gear?
Oh, I thought that was really cool. But I sent you guys the video, the picture. New Day just did it. They just did the Outsiders gear. So they're just, I mean, it looks like a bite on New Day, right? Like that's like, oh, well, New Day did it, so now we got to do like
Outsiders and NWO were different, but
no, they're not. Outsiders are the NWO. What the fuck are you talking about?
But they were the Outsiders before.
2 out of the 3 original members were the Outsiders.
But Outsiders started, and then NWO.
No, not really. Yeah. They only had one match where they weren't the NWO, and that was the Bash at the Beach where they became the NWO. Yeah. And they weren't. I don't even think they were called the Outsiders.
Because how long before that did Nash show up?
Yeah, it was only like weeks.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
Yeah, they didn't have a match. Their first match was Bash at the Beach.
But they're still thought of as separate, though. At least to me. Like, they're not totally separate, but you think it out. You don't see everything with Outsiders with NWO on it.
No.
And think of it as like Wolfpack and NWO too.
Yeah,
that was different, but it was.
Oh, to me, it was like, okay, well, I mean, I liked it. It looked cool.
And what WrestleMania was this? Because I don't remember any of that in the Golden Era.
Well, this is a general discussion, right? Yeah. Still talking about Hogan.
General discussion about the Golden Era. And somehow we're talking about AEW and NWO.
The NWO.
It's all going to loop around, John.
The NWO were Golden Era guys. The original 3.
Hall and Nash were Golden Era.
Yes, they were.
More so Scott.
They're more New Gen.
I don't care. They were there. My list has Conan on it. Max Moon.
Oh my gosh.
Moon for 5 months.
Pull that out of left field.
I'm sure he puts that.
My list also has Mil Mascaras on it. No, yeah.
What list is this?
Hey, Bruce, it's King Dog.
SmackDownHotel.com.
That's a legit site.
So, what's your take on Hogan? Were you a fan or did you hate him?
Like I was saying before the AEW talk, no.
Would you let Hogan have sex with your wife?
No. Ooh,
what?
No. What?
He had sex with Bubba Love's wife. Remember?
Well, that's some.
That's
degenerate.
I don't know. Oh, that was Bubba the Love Sponge's wife?
Yeah, and he know about it.
He set it up.
Yeah. Anyway, Hogan the wrestler. I mean, I liked him as a kid, but looking back, like
that word loosely, Hogan the gimmick,
the performer.
Hogan the. Well, did you ever see his stuff when he was in Japan?
Oh, wow! He did an enziguri once. Great.
Yeah. Hey, that's a big move.
He left his feet once.
That's not 4 moves in a squash match.
Hogan was theatrics, which is fine.
Yeah, but for the day,
nobody wanted to watch him. Nobody wanted to watch him for 60 minutes.
No, he couldn't go 60 minutes.
He's not
go 60 minutes.
Nobody can watch him for 60 minutes. Shawn Michaels, people want to watch for 60 minutes.
His big matches, what he top out at 15 minutes?
I don't even know.
Well, him and Warrior WrestleMania 6 was probably like 20.
Ooh.
And they both are pretty gassed by the end.
Oh yeah.
Him and Taker went long at that one Survivor Series, or maybe Tuesday in Texas.
Tuesday in Texas, yeah.
Yeah, they went pretty long.
Him and Rock. I know that's not Golden Era.
That's not Golden Era.
No.
Rock wasn't in the Golden Era. Why are we talking about the Rock? His dad was. It's on my list.
Oh, yeah.
It was SD Jones.
Oh, yeah.
They were the first African American tag team.
Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas.
Oh, it was Tony Atlas.
SD Jones is like a jobber.
By the way, Tony Atlas is a giant still. Like
really?
He's a big dude.
Went to a convention in Baltimore last year, and he is like I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's jacked. He's over. Yeah, he's like.
I think you're full.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
What's your list? Is it just people?
Oh, dude, you don't even want to know.
Do you write a random list?
I didn't write anything, but Von Krause is on here. Tony Schiavone, which technically, yeah, okay.
What is this? Did you just write random names?
I didn't write anything. It's
a website.
It's a
Oh
website.
my gosh,
It's,
that's terrible.
It's got superstar Billy Graham and Shane Douglas. He was there. He was there.
Yeah.
Don't I mean
Young guy, blonde hair.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
is? Oh, it was Secluda. I forgot about Secluda. But even still, what year is he there?
If we're talking about WrestleMania 1 through 9, then which is the best main event out of those 9? Like we all said, 1 was kind of shitty.
Okay.
One's out.
Shitty and 2 shitty.
2's Hogan and Bundy in the cage. But I like
Bad match.
relocations.
Yeah, and I liked that match when I was a kid because that was the only cage match I had on VHS.
Yeah, that was like my first exposure to a cage match.
Yeah, so that was cool for me.
Honestly,
but looking back at it, because I have watched it like within the last 10 years, it's shit.
When I met King Kong Bundy, I knew him because of that cage match.
Yeah,
That's his claim to fame.
but no squashing midgets with
Oh yeah,
what's his name?
Against Hillbilly Jim at 3.
He had fucking a mini rowboat.
I remember the 5 count. Was the other thing I remember from him.
Oh yeah, which Big E, new WWE champion, adopted when he was in NXT. He did the 5 count. Yeah,
But yeah, watch Bundy and Hogan. It's 2 big lumbering guys.
yeah. I mean, they did a good job selling the whole Hogan rib injury, though.
Yeah,
That was big for the day too.
The best main event.
Hogan Andre 3.
No, it's fucking boring, man. It's a boring match.
If we're talking about wrestling, yes. If you're talking about, like you said, the spectacle, the
Who-
asses and seats,
Who did Savage win the belt from in full?
DiBiase.
the tournament final was DiBiase.
See, I can't even say that because I don't remember the match. I just remember the whole night.
And 5 was Mega Powers Explode.
That's
6
probably
is
the best.
Hogan Warrior.
I gotta say Mega Powers.
7's Hogan Slaughter.
Slaughter.
8
8
is
is
Hogan Sid.
technically the main event is Hogan Sid, but the title match was
Yeah, with Savage and Flair.
Yeah.
So
which was a way better
title
match.
and then 9 was Hogan came out.
no, it wasn't Hogan.
It was Yoko.
Brett and Yoko when Hogan said,
count.
"Hold up, I'm here. Hold on a
Doesn't
minute."
count.
Nope.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, Brett and Yoko.
Hogan's match was losing by disqualification.
With the with Beefcake.
Yeah, the
Beefcake.
tag team. Yeah.
And then he did his little money dance.
So it's
You never seen the gif of the money dance where he's like holding the dollar bills and he's like, yeah. And like
Again, as a kid back in the 90s.
yeah, it was cool as a kid. Yeah, same. I mean,
But now it's like
It's got to be
like
3,
this
5, or
dude?
6.
Like you said,
me.
the main event is what you pay to watch. So
yes, but we're gonna take it out of that because like
The main event was the picture on the cover of the VHS.
well, I mean,
because like WrestleMania 9, I would have paid to watch Crush versus Doink.
You'd have been the only one.
Best card of the match. Well, it sure as fuck wasn't Brett and Yokozuna, who Yokozuna laid on his fucking back.
Who else? I barely remember that WrestleMania.
Okay,
Nine, that's,
WrestleMania 9.
Shawn and
It's
So
Tatanka.
that was Shawn and Tatanka.
It's
Hogan.
Bam Bam and
Is that
No.
Bam Bam and Luna?
Bam Bam's not on it. No.
Oh,
On
no.
Tatanka, it's Razor and Backlund, Head Shrinkers and Steiners.
It's Money Inc. versus Hogan
Yeah,
and
Money
Beefcake.
Inc. versus Hogan and Beefcake, where Hogan and Beefcake take the money out of the bag. Hogan throws it, Beefcake pockets it. Go watch it. Go watch it. Beefcake puts money in his tights. I don't think he knew that it was fake. I assume it was fake. I don't know.
Pictures of Ted DiBiase on it. Yeah.
We got Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez in the
Oh, it's terrible.
chloroform spot.
Luger and Perfect was on there.
Luger and Perfect, yeah.
back then though,
Did you
And
hear,
that's it.
hear the story about what Luger was doing what Perfect was doing to Luger for every match? Because they were like working on house shows too and up to WrestleMania.
Oh, it's hard to tell what Perfect was doing back then.
So this was Narcissist. Okay.
Okay.
So he had tassels on his pants, on his trunks,
Oh no.
Luger. And so every time they wrestled, when Perfect would shoot on him, he would rip some of the tassels off. And so Luger would get pissed. You're ruining my gear. You're ruining my gear. By WrestleMania, go look. There's a bunch of like bald spots on his ass. What was he supposed to do? Fucking Bird's such an asshole.
So, Frank, what do you think? What's between 1 and 9? What's the best main event?
In my opinion, as far as wrestling, Savage DiBiase.
I gotta say Savage Hogan. I mean, I liked it. I like Savage pulling through that match.
Yeah, there's like a 1A, 1B.
My thing about 5 was like that's a year build from 4 to 5.
Yeah, I do like.
Like
it.
you said,
That's
it's a slow. They're friends, and there's jealousy. They start to slowly turn. Well, Macho turns.
Well, but that was 4. Macho was just turned face. So like he went from heel at 3, face at 4, back to heel in 5. So it told a story. It told Macho's descent from, well, I tried to be a good guy, but this fucking guy, he's hitting on my girl. He's taking the spotlight.
I remember they were fighting the Boss Man and the Key. Remember Liz got knocked off the apron? So Hogan carried her to the back.
Boss Man and Akeem?
I think it was. It was a Saturday's main event.
I thought that was Andre and Ted DiBiase. No, that's where she does the
that's SummerSlam.
Yeah, this
is Saturday's main event. Was it Frank? Yeah, it was Boss Man and Akeem.
Yeah, Twin Towers.
Hogan carried her to the back, so Macho fought by himself. And
yes,
that's the famous where he runs back and like double axe handles Hogan.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure he really stiffed him there.
He probably did.
Yeah,
they didn't like each other.
Yeah, they did not like each other.
Not at all.
So as a golden era, a golden era fan, how did you feel when guys like Macho Man transitioned into commentary? When you still want to see those guys go, because he wasn't at the time.
I can only look back on it as like how I feel now. Like, could he? Wasn't he injured though?
No, he at first wanted to take time off.
Oh yeah,
that was the Warrior match 7, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got like 4 elbows on him. Warrior still kicked out,
and then he was like, "Oh, I think I'm ready to come back." And that's when they were going to do they did do the Jake match, and then after the Jake match, I guess that's when Vince was like, "I'd really like you to stop wrestling and start doing commentary." And he's like, "I still want to wrestle." So he kind of like half wrestled and half did commentary.
Yeah, because that's the right area where he had that feud.
He was doing house shows. He did a match with like Yokozuna. He did a match. Yeah, right. He did. He eventually did. That's New Gen. WrestleMania 10. Well, like he was still having like little matches here.
Yeah, he wasn't full time anymore.
And then that's the rumor of why he inevitably left, because he wanted to go back to he was feeling good, he was ready to come back full time, and this was like, no, I'm too old, And
I thought it's because he had sex with Stephanie.
No, it's not because he had
oh my gosh,
fucking 15-year-old Stephanie McMahon.
That rumor will not go away. I've been hearing it for like 10 years.
I remember hearing it, and then like later on hearing it and going, wait a minute. Stephanie's like 25 right now. And that was 10 years ago. I don't think Macho Man raped her. Like, I mean,
but I heard it wasn't rape, that they were both.
Well, it would still be rape. She's 15.
I'm saying, I know.
I'm gonna do a fucking Dark Side of the Ring on you.
I meant like it wasn't rape like he forced her. I meant, yes, it's rape because she's illegal underage. Yes,
right.
But not rape like he held her down and did it.
So
anyway,
the transition from
edit that part out.
Yeah,
the transition from Golden Era to New Gen, was it was there an obvious transition?
Yeah,
WrestleMania 9.
Well, everyone went to WCW.
Yeah,
that was it. Hogan left, Macho.
Everybody went to WCW. Yeah,
the steroid guys went to WCW.
And now we're focusing on guys that are pushing 6 feet tall.
Took the doctor with him.
And then we had Bulldog doing crack all summer long. Because technically that was the first main event without Hogan, right? Was SummerSlam.
92.
We're talking about, and
that was the first main event that wasn't the World. That was Intercontinental.
Yeah, but that was the first like big show that didn't have Hogan on it.
Yeah, at all.
At all. No mention, nothing.
Yeah, he didn't exist, yeah.
And Bulldog was doing crack all summer long.
He was, yeah, he didn't remember a single thing about that match. Brett called the whole thing.
They locked up and Bulldog went, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. I'm fucking blown, Brett.
Was he more or less wasted back then when he came back and was like than the Attitude Era.
That was drugs.
So Attitude Era was
he hurt his
pain.
back. Yeah.
Was painkillers because
Yeah.
he got dumped on the Warriors trap door at War Games.
Because
right? It was War Games. It was when Warrior was going to come out of the ring with the smoke. I think it was War Games.
They should have had the doorknob hang under the ring.
And they had it hanging up. And he got back body dropped right on
the doorknob. Yeah.
Right on the small of his back. And that fucked him. So when he came back in jeans and shit, that Bulldog run, he was on painkillers. He wasn't on crack or anything.
I think he wasn't as big if you think about it.
No, he was jacked back in.
I mean, that's probably why he was wearing jeans, because his legs didn't look like tree trunks anymore.
Or there was a lot of needle marks.
It was still weird.
It's in your ass. Come on, ask Warlord.
Yeah, I don't like that version of the Bulldog. That's not my favorite.
That's as weird as seeing CM Punk in tights.
Oh yeah, tonight we're gonna see what he wears tonight.
I think he's done with tights. I saw a picture of that.
Trunks, you mean? He's wearing tights.
No, I think he's done with tights.
Oh, so he just did the tights for one night, you're saying?
I saw a picture of Punk coming out on AEW and he was wearing trunks, so I don't know.
Where?
I don't know.
He came out in jeans and a hoodie on Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't.
That promo was terrible. I'm over Punk already, by the way. I know we're talking about, 90s and 80s, but fuck, I'm over Punk already. He did not cut a good promo. He asked turn heel. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like.
I think it's who cares about this feud?
Yeah. What are they doing?
Powerhouse Hobbs is like here, and Punk is like here. Like
it's almost like they got Punk, and they were like, hell yeah, we got Punk, and they were like, oh shit, we also got Brian. Let's focus on that. That's where we're going.
Well, they also want to work him up too. So,
but it's
Brian didn't. Brian went right to the champ.
No, he did not. He just
it wasn't a title match.
The champion. It was not. I said that when you first said that. I said it in the group chat. You said, "Oh, Brian gets a title match right away." No, it's not a title match. Just because you're wrestling, Kenny,
it's a dream match.
Doesn't mean you get a title shot. Now they have a story now that can say, "I deserve to be there," and he can work his way up from there. But they have months to tell that story.
It was a dream match. That's what it was.
Where has Hangman been, by the way?
I don't.
Nowhere.
I know we're not supposed to be talking about this, but
I lived through the golden era. I'm the old guy here.
I did too.
I remember as a kid, like I liked the guys who weren't Hogan. Like I liked Junkyard Dog and Hillbilly Jim.
You like Junkyard Dog and Hillbilly Jim. There's a reason that what are the two LJNs you see at every flea market? Hillbilly Jim and Junkyard Dog, because nobody fucking wants them.
Well, when I was a kid, like Coco Beware, like I thought that was cool.
By the way, they have a really cool magnificent Morocco at Symbiote. I was there the other week. Oh man, I wish I could afford it. Maybe I'll trade in my Chase Jericho for
an LJN with the Mexican Morocco shirt.
Yeah. And it's in good shit.
Is it white or yellow?
No, it's black.
No, the writing. It's a Morocco.
Oh, I couldn't tell you, but it looks good.
White is the common one. Yellow is the hard to find.
I just paint it.
Here it's rare. Just don't touch the lettering.
It's like the goddamn. There's like 500 Kamalas ever sold in Hasbro, but somehow there's
only one's worth
on eBay.
Yeah. But when I was a kid, though, like that appealed to me. Like I stood in line for hours at Nichols. Nobody knows what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Nichols is like Kmart.
Okay, I know what Ames is.
They're out of business. Same thing, out of business.
Okay,
they were on Fifth Street,
where Ames was, because I know what Ames is.
Yeah,
is that what you mean?
Nichols used to be where Kmart used to be on Fifth Street.
Oh, okay.
Same thing. They're out of business. But anyway, Coco Beware was there signing copies of Pile Driver, the album.
So that's cool, though.
And I waited in line as whatever I was, like 10 years old, for hours to meet him. And Frankie was there. Not you, the other Frankie.
The bird, yeah.
I was like, you're just there, the bird. Yeah. That was cool to me.
That's cool, though. I would do that.
Yeah. I like those characters.
That's why I still like what draws me to these conventions now. I don't go for AEW or newer people. I go for people I grew up watching.
Speaking of that, how did you enjoy Legends of Hamburg?
Oh yeah.
It was awesome.
Like, it was so probably the best. Really get to talk to you much.
Yeah. Then you're getting sick, right? You left early.
Yeah.
Who'd you meet, by the way?
Hold on. I don't know how to flip the camera around, but
so I hear man cave.
Yes.
Oh, we're hanging out at Frank's
Please
house.
don't use the word man cave. It sounds like somebody getting fucked in their asshole. So I fucking hate that term, man cave.
There I met Samu, Zabisco, Blue Meanie, Orton, D'Lo.
You had money for all those people?
Yes, today.
I mean, hey, conventions, you gotta have money.
What the hell kind of personal question is that?
No, it's just,
What? How much blow do you have to sell to be able to afford it?
I don't want to talk about it. Well, what are you talking about? These are all the ones.
Were you selling crack to a bulldog too?
Don't tell anybody.
He worked out a trade with the guys.
Yeah.
I got some
I don't
steroids.
know if you could see the whole
That's
thing,
how
but
Marty, you know, I'm not.
most of these people I've actually met in person. And then the bottom 2 rows I haven't met.
and then you were also at the Allentown convention, right?
Yeah, that's where I met One Man Gang, Tugboat, and Barry Windham.
Oh, you're the one person who met Barry Windham.
Yeah, nobody was
That
at
was-
Barry.
Yeah, that's,
No, you guys sent that to me. I was like, I feel like I want to go over there now just to be like, hey,
You could have hung out with them all day because
Yeah,
no one else did.
I would have.
I'm
well,
sad.
He was the guy that I would want to see.
I met him because I was like, well, my dad can't make it, and he was a fan of him back in the day with the Horsemen and everything. So it's like, oh, I'll get his autograph too. I feel bad.
You were there, Frank. Like nobody was stopping at his table. I felt so sorry.
No.
If I had to make a list of top 5 favorite Horseman members, he'd be on it.
But who else is on the list?
Is Flair off now because of
Flair and Arn are 1 and 2.
Ollie.
Benoit. I'm going off wrestling abilities. I'm not talking.
not personal?
No, not personal. So I guess Flair would be off now too. Mongo. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
Paul Roma.
No, Pillman, because that is my favorite. Those guys. I know there was a lot of classic fans don't appreciate that, but think about that. It's Flair, Arn, Pillman, and Benoit. That was like classic meeting the next generation,
right.
But yeah, and Barry Windham would be 5.
Really? Not
Yeah.
Sid?
As a horseman,
As a horseman, no.
Well, he likes Sid. I know you're a Sid
Yeah,
guy.
but he was a shit horseman. I like Paul Roma too, actually.
What about Sting?
Of the 15 times he
Luger?
he got it. No, not Luger. I fucking hate Luger. I don't like Lex Luger's wrestling at all.
You know, when I was a kid,
Jeff Jarrett? Are you gonna throw Jeff
Oh,
Jarrett in there?
no.
about Ole Anderson.
D. Malenko would probably be number 6,
Malenko.
actually. Malenko would probably be number 6.
When I was younger, you're not paying attention, but now that you're older and I look back, how many times did they trick Sting and he fell for it every damn time?
Like within 5 years, it happened 10 times.
Yeah. No, you can trust me, Sting is cool. And then Flair turns on him and Sting's always like, oh my God.
You should watch OSW Review when they start doing WCW from 95.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. There's one, he's so bad. It's Pillman and Arn versus Flair and Sting. But Flair got beat up before, so he didn't come out right away.
Yes.
So it's just Sting versus them, and then he comes out.
He's got like dress
his
clothes.
pants, yeah. And he gets to the
Hot
ropes,
tag.
and then finally Sting gets to the ropes, and he just punches Sting.
Yeah, that's Flair was Sting was by himself. Yeah, he tagged in Flair for the hot tag.
But it's like
And Flair comes in, he's like, woo! And then chop.
What's the dumbest part? It's so terrible. Sting is in like a I don't know, figure 4 or something with Arn, and he's yelling, "Nature boy! Nature boy!" Shut the fuck up. You're like you're this 300 pounds of mass muscle. You're screaming for fucking fat old nature.
You're the franchise. But how do you believe in your hero if he's an idiot? Like,
I mean, but that's not even the only time. Remember when him and Luger were tag champions, and Luger was in the Dungeon of Doom, but like not really in the Dungeon of Doom, and like so whenever Sting had his back turned, he would like not high five the fans, and he'd be like a douche, and he like hit Booker T with the quarters or whatever, the fucking sock foil, but like then Sting was like, "Oh no, you can't do that." Like Sting always trusted people, and fucking terrible. They booked Sting like a fucking moron.
They did. The back. Yeah. So, what were some of your favorite characters from Golden Era, Frank?
Oh, God.
Train.
It's more like who, as far as characters, like I liked a lot of them. Pretty much most of them. I mean, Savage, Piper, Rick Martel, if you count him as Golden Era.
Hell yeah, that's my favorite. Okay, I'm a huge Shawn Michaels fan. The Rick Martel turn should have been what Shawn Marty was.
Yeah, but I mean, but then again, okay, this is going back to what Vince
guy. So
yeah,
like Vince didn't know what to do with a lot of these people. Like he doesn't know what to do with a lot of them now.
But think about that. If Martel was an Iron Man, he was an AWA champion.
Yes.
He was the guy that could go. Martel turns on Tito, then could go towards Hogan. It would have been a great story.
Should have. Never
He
did.
should have actually made Hogan look good.
That's
Nope.
just like all the people back then that never won the title. It just bugs me to this day.
In the words of Bruce Pritchard, did he need the belt?
Not everybody needs the belt, but Martel used it.
He could have.
Hogan need it? No.
You know,
But
Not that many
Martel
times.
used it.
Martel, we said this before because I like Martel too. He's a good hand.
He's a fucking
And
phenomenal
that's what
wrestler.
hurts him.
Him and the Rougeaus. If we want to talk about probably some of the most underrated wrestlers of that era, Martel and the Rougeaus.
By the way,
There is not a bad Rougeau match.
I'm meeting Jacques Rougeau next Sunday. By the way,
Well, wait, is Jacques is Mountie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried to tell Kevin Steen that he'll never be anything outside of my promotion. Like drawing 30 guys to a VFW hall. Kevin Steen, you're never going to make it outside of here. Kevin Steen, aka Kevin Owens, never going to make it out of here. So I'm not a huge Jacques
Yeah,
Rougeau
we've
fan.
heard stories about Jock. He's been a bit of a dick.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of his.
But yeah, I like Martel too. And I remember that angle. But saying, yeah, he's just like Dolph Ziggler. You're just a good hand, make everyone else look good, but you're not going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that arrogance. He could have used that
I loved it.
to win matches.
Loved it.
Yeah.
The fucking blindfold match. Come on. Jake. Come on.
And some guys going,
Where are you? Where are you?
Yeah. It was good, dude. Martel made it look good.
Jake lifts up the mask.
Yeah.
And, where is he? Okay. Yeah.
Jake going off crowd reaction.
Guys never had a belt. Jake never had a belt.
No.
Because they were probably afraid he'd sell it for mass
Drugs.
I mean, but people know,
He does have health problems right now. I guess we
people
should
know
make
Jake
sure.
the Snake.
Yeah.
Many people know Rick Martel other than wrestling fans. You know what I mean? Jake the Snake was a character that got
people
over.
who like wrestling outside of characters do.
Well, yeah,
But-
everybody knows.
And I've
Jake
heard
the
this
Snake.
from other
I don't know,
people, and I've heard
know
this
Rick
online.
Martel, the model.
Take the snake away.
Yeah,
Is Jake the same? The snake got over.
I don't know though. His promos got over.
Yeah.
He was a
As a
really
wrestling fan,
good
but
promo.
When you're a 6-year-old kid like I am, I don't even understand half of what Jake's talking about.
yeah,
But
he
that snake was cool.
yeah, that's true.
But then
For me,
again, with a lot of this stuff, looking back, it's like they were such great promos, such great matches. Like it goes beyond. For some of them, it goes beyond the character. A
Yeah.
lot of them just had the gimmick.
Right, but what we're saying, like what we were saying, you say take away the snake, but back then it was about the gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, give somebody a snake now that doesn't have anything going for them. You know, fucking, I don't know. This guy is the first name that came to mind. Alex Riley. If he would have had an actual gimmick, he could still be employed now. He was a good wrestler.
I love A-Rod.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler. He just didn't have anything. There was nothing to work on.
Well, they tried.
He stepped away because of the virus.
Bad News Brown could wrestle, but no personality. Remember they tried to give him that sewer rat thing to try and get him sort of.
Yeah, no, was it right?
Was that what it was,
awesome?
Frank? A sewer rat or something?
I think so. It was. I barely remember.
Try and get
that.
him a little personality to get over, and it didn't work.
Well, it's like everybody had an animal back in the day.
Yeah.
Or a job.
Ricky
Or, hey, I'm a.
got repackaged with a fucking Komodo dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been to a lot of conventions. Do you have an absolute favorite of who you met?
As far as, I mean, you say favorite, I could take that. Like, who was the nicest?
Personally,
I have a weird one,
yeah.
man. Doug Williams will forever go down as the coolest guy I've ever met in wrestling. It's weird. It's not somebody you would think, but he was the end all be all nicest, coolest guy.
Speaking of a great wrestler, too.
Oh yeah, well,
Oh, man.
but still, you don't expect like a guy like that to be the guy that you're drawn to. When I'm meeting Kurt Angle that night and Abyss, Robbie E, two of the guys who I loved at that time, Motor City Machine Guns. This is the night I find out I fucking hate Alex Shelley. Love his wrestling, fucking hate the guy, the douche. But Doug Williams was the best guy. Pope was pretty cool too.
No.
He just didn't want to be recorded. He was cool. He stood out, talked to us. He just said, if I see any phones, I'm leaving. That was the only thing he didn't want to be recorded.
Who was your favorite, Frank?
Again, putting in how nice they were. Godfather. He was like super.
Oh,
nice.
Godfather was
Yeah, he
cool.
was
I didn't
cool.
spend
He
a
was
lot of
great.
time with him. You guys did. I know, but to 2 times. There's
Well, we met him with Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Godfather was really nice. Yeah.
Mark Marrow was like unbelievably nice. He was
That's
awesome.
because he's afraid Brock Lesnar's behind him everywhere he goes.
Have you heard that story, Frank? Do you know that story?
What?
With who?
The Mark Merrill Brock
Oh.
Lesnar story.
Probably. I can't remember it though.
That's that. All the boys are telling Mark Merrill, "Hey, did you hear Sable's got a new boyfriend?"
Oh.
He's like, "Who?" And they're
He's like, he's a boxer, so he's beefing up like, who? I'm here.
and like,
What,
"Oh,
who?
she's dating one of the boys." He's like, "Who? Who is he?" And he's storming around backstage.
What is
I'm
it?
gonna kick the guy's ass. Who is it? And he sees the Brock Lesnar. He's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Never.
Good for her. That's great, man. I wish them the most happiest relationship.
You're the guy
ever.
banging Sable. Way to go, man.
More favorites. The 2 times I met Demolition. Awesome to meet. Real good guys.
Really, I can see Barry being cool. I don't know about Bill.
Bill barely talked, but I mean, he
Really?
was
He's like
Well,
85 years old.
Yeah, he
He's
seems like he wouldn't talk. He seems like he'd just be like that. I don't know, what's your name? You say Alex? No, Frank. Steve?
Ready for Demolition.
Yeah, Barry both times. Like we met him in Baltimore last year, and my son was with us, and he was like, "Oh, come around the table, take a picture." Blah blah.
That's
And
what
Bill was
happens
just
a lot
like,
with
"Nah."
JJ. With John's son, that happens a lot. A lot of people are just like,
Yeah.
"Come on, come
That's
on,
why I take
come over here."
So we went to a mall, the Lehigh Valley Mall. I
Nah.
believe, or
That wasn't Lehigh Valley. It was
No.
some shit mall in some shithole. Are you talking about Hideo?
yeah.
I wasn't Lehigh Valley Mall.
Well,
5 people in the store,
okay.
and 4 of them were us.
Oh man.
6 people in the mall and 4 of us. 4 of them were us.
so
We literally could have just hung out with Hideo all day. It was someone else.
So we go to meet Hideo Itami. We all get his
And
autograph.
Godfather, or Papa Shango, or
Well,
Kama, or
he was
Goodfather, or
Charles
whatever you
Wright,
call
remember
it.
he's-
Yeah.
He was there, but we all went for Hideo Itami.
Well, yeah, I got my finger signed.
That's because
So,
we listened
we
to
all got-
Kenta kicked heads over there.
We all got something signed by Hideo, and nobody was going to Godfather. It was
Nobody was called to
Yeah.
Hideo.
Nobody was going to that mall.
so, as we're just hanging out there after our
It was like a
autograph.
private show.
After we're just hanging out after our autograph, Godfather's just like, yeah, come on. So he got a
Yeah,
picture
he
with
didn't care.
yeah.
I
But
felt bad because I didn't like. Okay, I talked up Hideo to you guys. You only knew him as Kenta, or I'm sorry, you
I
only
knew
knew
him
him
as
as Hideo.
Yeah.
I knew him from New Japan and All Japan and all the different fucking Noah and all that different stuff. So like, I'm like, this guy's amazing. You know, he was greatest. I need his autograph and go to this mall. There's nobody fucking there.
And from what I've heard, everybody that went to Legends of Hamburg said the same thing. Godfather's just a great guy, and
Yeah.
He owns a strip club, so he's got to be personable.
He's
I don't know if he owns it anymore. I don't think he does.
Oh, really?
So is there anybody, Frank, that you haven't met that you'd like to meet?
Oh my goodness.
Living.
Living, not a lot. I'm trying to think. Like I've met most of the ones. I mean, I see the ones at conventions. Like, oh, okay, I liked him back
To
in
me,
the
there's a
day.
difference between going in the line and getting an autograph and meeting somebody. Like, I don't want to stand in Marty Jannet's line, get his autograph, and go.
No, that's the only reason I got his autograph. Like I liked him as a rocker. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
But I want to
kinda
meet.
feel bad
I want to
for
hang
him,
out.
but-
Like,
right.
I want to
Yeah.
after the show. Hey, let's go to the bar that's down here and let's go hang
Right.
out. You know,
Right.
that's what I
Tell stories. And
Yeah, I don't want to just like go to your get your autograph.
my holy grail for meeting is the ones that never do conventions, like Hogan and Cena, like
Right.
those,
All right.
the bigger names.
Well, it's like
the
Martel
video-
was just doing a virtual
Undertaker.
signing, and I just missed out on it.
Oh yeah, I found that holy grail of Undertaker's signature. I don't even know. That
Oh,
was
gosh.
I was literally looking through a box. So I was at the Coventry Mall. I was at some mall, and we went to this store that had horror stuff,
Hmm.
and they had like Robert Englund signed stuff, and like what's the Dr. Spalding or Mr. Spalding or whatever the
Sid Haig.
So
Yeah.
who passed
they
away,
had a
yeah.
bunch of like horror movie stuff.
Right.
One, I'm literally just looking through. I'm looking for like Matthew Lillard from Scream or like
Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet, right, or even Nev Campbell. Like Scream's my favorite horror movie. I'm thumbing through. There's a fucking Undertaker
Wow.
autograph. I couldn't believe it, and it has the C of A.
Ugh.
That's the thing. Like if it wouldn't have had the C of A, I would have been like, nah, probably fake.
You wrote that at home, did it yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
But it had the C of A, and I I grabbed it. I ran over to. I was like, I'm buying this. I want this right now.
Here's my wallet.
Yeah.
Was there somebody that was just an absolute dick that you met?
Alex Shelley.
Hey, do I can get some weed?
No, that wasn't meeting him. I'm not gonna blast him. Although it's pretty. Are you talking about?
That was your story that he asked him for weed. Did
No, that's not Shelley. I almost said the name of the guy who actually was. That wasn't meeting. That was backstage at a show.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll tell you that one after we're off there. I don't want to put him on blast, even though it's kind of like a known thing. But like, yeah, that was at a show. That was a convention.
Is there somebody that you definitely tell people, hey, I didn't like that, or
The only person I've had a bad encounter with was Greg Valentine. And I've heard stories, like I kind of
Really?
expected it, but yeah.
I think he'd be glad I didn't even knows who the hell he is.
There's actually another one that I did forget that I've had a bad one with. Shane Douglas. Fuck Shane Douglas.
He actually showed up.
stories?
No, well, yeah, exactly. So 2 times at a show I'm working at, doesn't show up. And another time in Lancaster, I bought his shirt. I just wanted the franchise shirt, yellow with the diamond with the F, just wanted the shirt. And he was like 20 or 30 signed. I was like, I just want the shirt. Like, I want to wear it. So I don't want to sign. He just signed it without me saying it. So now I've got to give him $30. Fuck you.
Yeah. Captain Lou did that to me.
Oh, that sounds right.
At the silo. He had like all these 8x10s of all the tag teams he managed, which is a lot. And he was like, which one do you like? I'm like, oh, the Head Triggers is pretty cool. I always liked them.
Well, he just signed it.
And he's like $20. I'm like, what the hell just happened here?
They knew what they were doing.
What?
It sounds like a Virgil move.
Well, he did event wrestling.
You're thinking of Butch Reed.
Oh, that's true. No, he invented Netflix.
Butch Reed invented
Virgil main evented with Shawn Michaels like 109 sellouts.
Oh my gosh.
When I was a kid, I got to meet Captain Lou, King Kong Bundy, George the Animal Steel, and I really wish somewhere I still had the pictures.
That's like the golden era right there.
I had a Missy Hyatt, and I don't know where it went. It was from Hamburg Fieldhouse when I was a kid. I had Greg the Hammer Valentine, and I had my favorite Firebreaker Chip.
Oh my gosh.
Todd Champion. Firebreaker Chip.
I really liked it. I had those 3 on my wall as a kid. I met him at Hamburg Fieldhouse. My dad took me, and I don't know what happened to any of them.
Are you going to any of the conventions in Allentown coming up?
Possibly.
I think there's one.
There's one in
2nd.
October, Crowbar, which is a very obscure one.
I never heard of him doing it.
I'm kind of interested. And Just Incredible, I don't see him doing a lot of stuff, does he?
He has.
I don't think they do a lot.
Just Incredible has a bad rep.
He's
known not
for
Aldo
showing up.
Montoya.
What you say? Do you think he's signed by Aldo Montoya?
I would like an Aldo Montoya signature.
My encyclopedia.
We missed Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed about that. I was really hoping one of you were going to go so I could get it.
Dude, I don't know about you, Frank. I heard stories about like Ric Flair doesn't look up. He just has his head down. He'll just sign it.
Yeah. The same with Shawn Michaels.
For his
I'm
$100.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
That Flair could give a shit less who you are.
See, I wouldn't. The most I'll go is $50 for somebody I really want to meet. I don't believe in spending $200.
I paid $50 for Brett.
There is
Undertaker's $300. You're out of your mind.
Crazy. So I would pay for Shawn because there is one picture that I want signed. I already have Marty's signature on it. It's their cage match, and he's doing the catapult. So it's got both of them in the picture.
Oh, that's cool.
That would go next to my other favorite dual signed AJ and Samoa Joe picture, which is right now. It's like Undertaker and Joe and AJ's signature.
I still got to get
I got TNA AJ jumping over the top rope to the outside onto Joe doing the forearm. It's signed by both of them. It's so cool.
See, I met Shawn Michaels at the Reading Royals.
Yeah, and I didn't know about that.
That was their very first home game for the Royals.
Well, we all met Ted DiBiase, man.
Yeah, Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels. He dropped the puck. He said, "I think it paid
Yeah.
like $7." And
I wasn't
Wow.
going to hockey games then. I was playing hockey then.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to hockey
I
games.
still
so-
need to get IRS.
And the only rule they had was it was like
I'm pissed. IRS was supposed to be at Legends of Hammer.
It's a complete.
and Missy Hyatt too. She wasn't there
There's a
either.
lot of guys we realized.
I had a chance to meet IRS in Baltimore last year, but I just
Well,
lined up.
Danny Davis, they announced wasn't going to be there. That was why JJ filled in for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missy Hyatt was just a no-show.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
I
who
don't know,
Jillian
but-
Hall filled in for. I don't know.
Wow.
You said you wanted to show off your collection.
Yeah, anything you want to show that's really really cool?
see what we can see here without in the camera. Right?
I knew I would have brought my NWA belt. That's my favorite. It's one of my favorite pieces.
This is, I mean,
Actually,
some of this is like when I like stuff I've had when I was a kid. Some I bought online, yard
you have
sales.
stuff from when you were a kid though. That's so cool. Like
Some, I mean,
I go
I lost a
looking for
lot.
things that I had when I was a kid, but got rid of or threw away or whatever.
Yeah, you grow up, you're like, I don't want that.
Yeah,
Get
I
rid of
don't
that.
want it anymore. Here,
That
take it to a yard sale
box
for a
Is
quarter.
one of the best pieces.
Oh,
in my
well, see that
collection.
rest in peace thing though. That's so cool. Is that from?
That's the new one, though. That's the new one.
Oh, okay.
So-
See, no,
Is that the wrestling cereal
No, this right here.
with the warrior? Yeah.
That's the color forms thing. It had the scene and it had the little like sticker things. I just bought that because I had it when I was a kid, and I just
Oh, nice. I used to have the wrestling
That's
cereal.
Macho Slim Jim. That's
also, the new
The
Hogan.
box.
I have that Hogan that has the pull string, and it's supposed to talk. Like I used to have that when I was a kid.
That's like I used to have the Hogan wrestling buddy, and I
Oh yeah, all the wrestling. I had Hogan, I had Jake, I had Macho, and I had Boss Man.
these two right
There was
here.
also- there's
These
also
are some of my
DiBiase,
favorite pieces.
And there was Road Warrior, which is the really, really rare one.
I can't see the pops.
Yeah, who was that?
I got a page pop
John
if you're
Lana.
interested.
And the Piper.
Oh, that Piper one's cool. I see a
Let's
lot of
see.
older like Jax figures too.
Yeah,
Are
these
those are those original Hasbros?
yes, they are.
Oh, nice. You have the whole collection?
Most some are going to be on it. I'm not spending $1,200 for 1 through 3 kids.
They did. The green card ones are the ones that you need.
So, do
Yeah.
you have any Galoobs?
All the old
To my WCW, I have these right here. I don't know if you can see them.
I can't really see it. So, are they the
Oh,
Galoobs?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the creator of Galoob actually just passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are I got Steiner Brothers, Ron Simmons, Arn, Luger, Flair, and Sting, and I have
What's the name?
I have the
Blue
blue
tights.
tights. Yeah, I have
That's
the blue.
the first one.
Yeah, I have. There's a blue, there's a black, and I think orange.
There was one that was like,
One's a UK.
yeah. And then the Steiners,
cape
had
or
two.
the jacket was
Oh, really?
UK.
The Steiners, the first one was just plain.
Oh yeah, that's
the
right.
second
There's
one
the
had
jacket
colors.
one. The jacket one.
Yeah.
Those are rare.
I
But
had.
with me, with figures, like once I have one of them, unless I see another one a good deal, I'm just like, okay, I have one. I don't.
So
Really
my Sting Galoob, great condition. With the original Galoob WCW belt that came with it.
But they all came with it.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you can't find those anymore.
No.
That's the thing to get.
People pay more for the belt than do the figure.
$5 for it. That guy didn't know what he had. I
No.
would have paid 20 for it.
I like those people.
not
yeah.
sure what else you
Would
guys
have
can
asked
see.
for 20. I would have paid it.
These are really cool. I like these. I don't know
Uh,
where the camera is.
What the hell is that?
What is it? A Pez or something?
Claw mints.
Oh.
After
It's after mandible claw mints.
Oh.
that's cool.
Ah, I
And
knew
then
that.
there's
Is that
this.
a pro wrestling crate thing?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have a bunch of that weird stuff like
I didn't know it was a thing.
Can you see that?
chew bubble
Triple
gum, kick
H's
ass. Oh, cool.
Triple H's burial pen. It's a pen to write creative, but it's a shovel also.
Oh my gosh.
and the kayfabe 8-ball.
Oh, that lunch is that a lunchbox?
This is it's an old lunchbox.
A Hogan.
Hogan, Steamboat, and Piper on it.
With the thermos?
No. Signed Scott Hall
Weirdest thing,
figure.
thermos or add the
A
value.
signed Scott Hall.
Yes.
Oh.
And I've had people want to buy it, but I'm not selling it. Gosh. Old
Hey,
TV
LJNs.
tray with what's that?
LJNs, I used to have them.
Was that a weed
Yeah.
tree you said?
No, it's just Coke
That's what
tray.
people use it as.
I mean,
These
I
are
have
really cool. I was after these for a while. My brother got them for me for my birthday.
what are they? Oh, I have
Rad rollers.
One of you found them for me, didn't you?
Oh, that's the balls?
Yeah, the balls.
Oh,
Yeah, you found them for me at a yard sale.
I found balls for him at a yard sale.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like, that's the main things. Like, I'm always on the look for.
I'm sure you and I are on the look for that air hockey, not air hockey.
Yeah,
it's like the hockey foosball.
Yeah, well, I have one. I bought this. I have one of them.
Oh, just a piece. Oh, I want the whole.
I mean, I want to get the game, but I'm more so like, okay, here's the character pieces and just.
So someone had the box.
Yeah.
At a not a convention, but like just it was at a local wrestling show, and they just had the box for $200.
Well, that's like I saw the Hasbro ring, the box for $400.
Just the box.
Just the box.
Wow.
I would stuff like you said. The belts are worth
because
money.
those are the things that get thrown
And
away.
of course, there's.
And like Del Jan, like Terry Funk's hat and his branding iron is worth more than the figure.
Yeah.
My wife got this for me for my birthday, and it's complete.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, that's
With
the original.
the belt and the flag.
That's a good woman.
Yeah, that's cool. Having the flag, the belt,
Yeah.
but the flag, yeah, that's.
Well, if
really
you have the
cool.
complete like that, that's yeah.
And then I got
Amazing people
repro
pay
stickers
this
for
flag.
it. So.
Yep. It's like what they're trying to do with that LeBron James head. Everybody's
I sent you guys that picture of like 5 of them with no heads.
Stealing the LeBron James head off of the Space Jam.
Is there something that you're trying to get and you just can't find?
It's a chase.
It was the ring for a decent price, and then my wife surprised me on my birthday. Nothing comes to mind really. I mean, the hockey pieces.
Yeah, you're probably the same as me. It's when you see it. How do you feel when you see it? If I feel like holy fuck, I've got to have that,
right?
Then I'm probably gonna want it.
What I think is cool, and we all look. I do lots of yard sale stuff, but like that thing with the ball, the balls.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
never
so
have
random
that in the wild,
so random,
and that's rare.
Yeah,
figures. Yeah, you see them pretty often.
Right.
Old magazines, old VHS tapes, but some rare shit like that, you never see that.
I'm after some of the old board games.
Magazine.
I used to have the board game.
Yeah.
I had a couple
card
board
game.
games.
Yeah.
That one game that everybody's going crazy for, the rock card. I had that game.
Oh, I was at my parents'.
They're going crazy for the rock card, not the game.
6 months ago, it was in my parents' attic, and it's original. Me and my brother used to have it. Sold it to somebody on Facebook for $500.
Oh
wow!
Yeah, people were crazy for that card. I don't get it. Not the game.
Well, technically, they call it the Rock's rookie, Stone
But
Cold's rookie, but it's not.
It's not. It's just it's a card from a card game. It's not official.
I got $500 for it, so
that way. Yeah.
All right. Well, this was fun, Frank.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Thank
being
you
here.
for joining us. I had fun
That's some cool
discussing
stuff
with you.
have there.
Even if we had technical difficulties starting.
Yeah, thanks for your patience.
No worries.
I must say, Frank, I think it's very cool because, as you know, and Justin knows, there's been hundreds of people have come and gone to the hospital that don't keep in contact.
Because we worked, we can tell a backstory. So John and I actually worked with Frank 3 years ago, maybe.
Probably close to 5.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming up on my 2nd anniversary next week. So
okay.
Yeah, that's where we met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and I trained him actually. That's how we got to talking. Mm-hmm. He liked wrestling.
Yeah.
And we became friends, but we stayed in touch. You know, people leave the place I never see or hear from again.
Yeah. John was like, "Hey, we got another one. We got another wrestling fan."
Justin's always a little skeptical. Like, they're all wrestling fans.
I don't like people most of the time. For the most part, I don't like people.
Well, it depends. If like, oh, you're a wrestling fan. Well, yeah, I liked it when Stone Cold was there.
I haven't watched since Stone Cold.
Then get away from me.
Fuck up.
Like my mom. I used to watch it when it was real.
Yeah,
no, you didn't, Mom. You never did.
This man owns all of it.
I hear that. My mom swears Bruno Sammartino was legitimately wrestling. He was a real wrestler, not these fake guys. Sure.
Not the fake stuff now.
Yeah.
All right, Mom, whatever.
We definitely need to hang out though and go shopping for some antique stuff.
Let's hang out and wrestling show together.
Yeah.
Come to AEW.
I want to go.
It might be sold out. I
Tickets,
really don't know.
Tickets are going fast. There's only a few left.
When we're off air, Frank, I'll say something. I can't say it on camera.
Same. Remind me that I want to tell you that story. And actually, so you guys brought up that like for two episodes now, I've said I need to tell you something after. I can never remember what it was.
But seriously, thank you, Frank, for being on here. This was
Thank you guys.
Yeah, very
I
cool.
want to say thank you again to our sponsor, Rise Up Nutrition, Penn Ave, West Reading. Stop by, get an energy tea. Try their protein stuff. It's not bad. People are scared by
I'm not a
protein.
huge protein fan, but maybe I'll try it one day.
I'll need it after my procedure. I need lots of protein.
Yeah.
And of course, thank you to the IWEP Network. We're
Yeah,
part of
hell
that
yeah.
now. And we're
Finally listened to my first what was it called? Illusion?
Truth Behind Illusion.
Truth Behind Illusion. Holy shit. I think the girl's name's Heidi. I would like to hang out with her. We have a lot to talk about because she gets the difference between demons and ghosts and angels. She gets it. Yeah, she gets it. She was like spot on. Literally, I'm like walking through a hallway listening to this, and I'm like, yes, you're right. Yes, that's it. You're dead on.
Podcast.
Yeah, you're dead on. You got it.
Which might be in the group chat. Maybe we can
She
message
is,
her.
Yeah. And we're officially a sponsor of Outbreak Wrestling, so that's pretty cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
again.
check out Outbreak Wrestling. Yeah, and Legends of Hamburg.
July 23rd next year.
Yeah, we got a whole year to still prepare.
Yeah, we're still talking about who we want to bring in, but it's definitely going to be somebody big.
It's a fun day.
Awesome.
Thank you for everybody listening, watching. We'll see you next time.